Well, a real-life Sons of Anarchy situation played out in Phoenix this past weekend, and today I'm going to tell you how two bikers pull up to the same stoplight, one pulls a gun, and then a driver witnesses all this and does the unthinkable. Now, I'm going to tell you about the stuff we know, but also the stuff we don't know that makes the story, adds another twist, and makes it a little bit more tragic. Of course, I'm going to give you my opinion. I want to hear y'all's too, man. Have you ever had like serious confrontations with another biker, or has it always been cordial? Let me know down below. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, here's part of what we know and part of what we don't know. Two bikers pull up to the same red light in Phoenix. This is like at I-17th and 7th Avenue. And from here, we don't know if words were exchanged. We don't know if there was road rage before this incident. I don't know if they were possibly two conflicting clubs, or maybe one just didn't like the other bike or attitude. I have no clue what happened in this situation. But all we do know is that one biker pulls a gun on the other. He ends up shooting him. And the craziest part is a driver witnesses all this. He floors it and hits the biker that was shooting. Now, both bikers end up going to the hospital, and later they both end up losing their lives. They end up releasing the car driver. So obviously they found no fault, what he did. So obviously he saw enough, or he heard enough to presumably and justifiably hit the biker that was shooting. Based on that right there, I guess the guy that pulled the gun didn't feel threatened. It wasn't like a self-defense type of situation. It seems like he was the aggressor, but again, we don't know that. I'm just giving you an opinion based on the fact that they let the car driver go, as of right now anyways. That's a pretty interesting dynamic, because you have one option where the car driver, if he didn't see everything that happened, probably the best move there is maybe call the cops, stay out of it, mind your business, or flee. Right? That's what you would think most car drivers would do. But the other option, right, tells me that he saw this all go down, and so he acted on instinct. He saw somebody, this biker pull a gun, and he's like, I'm going to stop this guy before he ends up shooting somebody else. That unknown detail does, in my opinion, it kind of tells us a lot about how this situation went down, and whether the car driver acted irrationally or he's actually a hero in this situation. I guess that's yet to be seen. But that's a pretty interesting situation that I guess any one of us could find ourselves in. You don't even have to be on a bike, right? You could just be sitting at a stoplight looking at your phone or something or whatever, and all of a sudden you see something like this go down. That has to be a pretty crazy thing to witness. Here's the part that makes it more tragic, because I personally, and I know a lot of us, are always talking about how great the motorcycle community is, how welcoming they can be. I mean, and just some of the most fantastic people that I have ever met ride a motorcycle.
What the hell is this? Little family reunion.
But of course there's going to be some bad eggs out there, and not knowing all the details, I can't really tell you who the bad egg is. Plus, well, both these guys unfortunately lost their lives. But here's what I do know, and I've kind of talked about it before, and I'll talk about it here too. These road rage incidents, if that's what happened here, can lead to bikers getting hurt or even losing their lives. And that's what I don't want to see. And I feel like rarely you will see these things play out between bikers. Normally it'll be a biker and a car driver, similar to what I've covered in the past. But obviously it can happen with other bikers as well. But just knowing that one hand gesture or mouthing off or trying to run somebody off the road, we've seen plenty of those situations too. You may get away with it 9 times out of 10, but that 10th time, maybe you don't. And again, I can't place any kind of blame here, because there's some really important details that we just don't know. They're still under investigation. But road rage can turn deadly very quickly. And so as a motorcyclist, it can get really intense when people try to run you off the road, when people come into your lane, when they cut you off, when they are being disrespectful, or what you perceive as being disrespectful. It can enrage you. And look, I'm not delusional. I don't believe that we live in some utopia. This is why I believe, as a biker, as a driver, as an American, you should be carrying your firearm for situations just like this. But I also understand that sometimes your rage can actually lead to a situation that escalated when it could have just kind of blown over 5 minutes later. You're not even thinking about it. When you're on a bike, you're even more vulnerable. So you got to be aware of those situations if you come across them or when you come across them, because certainly you will. It may not be as dramatic as this. It may not look like Sons of Anarchy, but certainly it can get to that point if you approach the wrong car, the wrong hand gesture, etc., etc. Now, here's the thing though. We want more bikers on the road. We want more people on two wheels, more now than ever, right? And so it's really easy to read a headline and think, yep, I saw the TV show, this is how all bikers act, which is not even close to the majority of bikers, even the majority of bikers that are in motorcycle clubs, by the way. I don't speak for any motorcycle club, but you would hear about a heck of a lot more of this stuff going on if they too were involved in a lot of these situations. And I'll still stand by that. The vast majority of motorcyclists, club or no club, are super respectful unless they feel disrespected. Keeping that rage sometimes in check can be maybe one of the most important things you could ever learn. And again, it's easier said than done. But the vast majority of us don't have to worry about another biker hurting us. It's cars you really got to be concerned with. Again, there's going to be some bad apples out there, and they're like that in no matter what you do, whether you are into boating or motorcycle riding, or you're a gun owner, or you're into crochet or golf, right? There's bad apples everywhere. It's not just bikers. There's this kind of unfortunate stigma because of shows like Sons of Anarchy, even though I love that show, by the way. Sometimes with some people that can kind of dictate how they feel about us. And they read a story like this and they're like, oh yeah, confirmation confirmed there, when it's, like I said, not even close to how most motorcyclists actually are in real life. This one, though, I thought was kind of interesting. You know, normally you don't see biker on biker type of crime. It's normally biker versus driver, and that's what we really have to be concerned with whenever we're on the road. But it still paints the same picture and can tell the same message. Sometimes a hand gesture or mouthing off or whatever can lead to a confrontation that you didn't expect to escalate this far. If there's any twists in the story or anything interesting that comes up, I'll for sure fill you guys in. That's all I got for now. Let me know what you think down below. If you like what I do, consider subscribing. See you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.